Shannon Lane, thank you so much for doing this. I know your time is so valuable. Oh my gosh. Bikini overall at North Americans.
Yes.
Broad question, how'd you do it?
Oh my gosh. It's been a long time coming. I mean, you work tirelessly for so long and then it's finally yours and God, it just feels like it was a dream. I mean, I worked really hard for God, 2, 3 years, so there's a lot that goes into it. It's hard to even kind of go over everything, you know.
During the overall, you're standing on the diagonal and they call out your name. Describe that moment.
God, it was so surreal. I mean, I had no idea that Angelica was even going to be there, and I walk over to her and it's like, I look at her and I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it really felt like a dream come true. It was amazing.
And Angelica, you're talking about the Miss Bikini Olympia was on stage with you.
Yeah. I mean, it makes me laugh because I don't know. I mean, like I said, you work for years to make it to that point, to get your pro card. And then just to win the overall was like, I mean, it was an indescribable moment for me.
You competed in North Americans before. What do you think got you back to competing in this show?
So I really, every national show that I did, I always reached out for feedback. My feedback was always, your presentation was beautiful, makeup, hair, everything, suit looked great. This judge in particular told me that my glutes needed to be brought up. So I made it a point, all winter, all fall to really train hard, lift heavy, really work on my glutes, really, take her feedback into consideration. And then, after I requalified for nationals in May, I reached out to Carly Starling and with the Pro Physiques, and she really stepped up my game. I mean, I thought I was training hard before, but we started training glutes 3 times a week, and my cardio changed, and she was just a whole new path of motivation for me. And I'm talking about Carly Starling, who just finished 5th in the Olympia in figure. So, I mean, she's amazing.
Throughout this year, you were checking in with her?
Yes. Yep. I reached out to her in May, and we started prep together, and that was our first prep together. And she brought me to win my pro card and the overall. I mean, she's amazing.
Was she in Pittsburgh with you?
She was not. She was deep into her prep for the Olympia, so she couldn't be there. But we were in contact, and her husband were completely amazing. And they have a wonderful team. Renee, Hershey helped me with my posing. Previous to Carly, I had a local coach in North Carolina. It wasn't really part of a team. I never really knew what being part of a team was like. And so, this changed everything for me. Having a posing coach, having the team there, even though Carly wasn't there, Renee was there. She was, screaming for me in the crowd, and I could hear her. And it was just, everything really came together for me.
Did you have any family there?
I had my boyfriend there. So he was an amazing support for me. He's competed before too, so he knows the lifestyle, of course. He's a business owner, so, his hours are long, as were mine, training for this show. So we really kind of fed off of each other.
After prejudging, did you guys have a pretty good idea that you were,
Yeah, so prejudging went well. I was called, it was me and one other girl. We were taken off stage first, so I knew that I was top 2. And, I mean, going into the show, for me, like my goal, I mean, obviously the goal is always to get your pro card, okay? But, for me, last year I missed top 5 by one placing. So I really wanted to get into that top 5. So knowing that I was in top 2, I was like, oh my God, this could really be it for me. And so, I had a really good feeling. I went back to my hotel room and I was talking to Carly and I was like, all right, like, let's do this. I want to get the overall. That's what we're shooting for now.
Was this prep, Shannon, emotional for you at all?
It was. It was. I had just gotten into grad school, and so I kind of felt like this was my last shot. And for me, yeah, I have emotion right now thinking about it. I was like, I got to do this. This is like one of my goals. I want to make it. So yeah, it was pretty emotional.
What about years ago, you starting this bodybuilding journey? How did that happen when you first started? Someone approached you or?
Yeah, so I completed my nursing degree in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I started my training at Racine Gym, excuse me, in Wilmington. And if you know Racine Gym, you know that there's a lot of competitors. Carly started there. Audrey Cornelison and Brian Martinez are both pros. They came from Racine Gym. Lauren Valentino, the owner of the gym, is an IFBB Pro, and Mike Valentino is a IFBB Pro bodybuilder. I'm probably missing a lot of people. It's amazing. How many pros came from there. So, I had somebody approach me. I think actually was Kadir. He's the IFBB Pro physique, men's physique competitor. And he said, have you ever thought about competing? And I was like, competing? What do you mean competing? And so it just kind of, snowballed from there. I entered my first show in 2013. God, so long ago. It was just kind of like a bucket list thing for me. And then, I did okay at the show, and then years went by and I kind of, forgot about it, or just, life happened. I finished nursing school and then I moved to Raleigh, North Carolina. And at that time I was working out at Retro Fitness, and Carly Starling was there, and she actually kind of motivated me to get back into it. So it's kind of funny how, everything kind of came full circle.
You think next year you'll be stepping on the pro stage?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Even just watching the Olympia this weekend, I had thought, I would take this year to kind of get settled into school and, make my debut next year, but I'm getting itchy. Like, I kind of want to set my game plan with Carly here after, she gets back from Las Vegas, and maybe even do it earlier. So who knows? We'll see.
What did you think of Angelica on stage this year? Did you see her?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I watched her. She was unbelievable. Unbelievable, as always. She is the definition of bikini. And I love her physique. She's so beautiful. Her stage presence is phenomenal. She's definitely somebody to look up to for me.
How about 2 more questions? What do you think it'll take to be in first call out on a pro stage?
Oh, man. A lot. These girls bring it. The girls at the national level bring it. So, it's exciting for me to, challenge myself even more at that next pro level. Really, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of hard work. The posing is obviously completely different. You have to stand out and, bring your uniqueness to it.
A lot of people, they might be watching this video and they're maybe struggling to work out and eat clean. Any advice for them, Shannon?
I think, a lot of people get caught up in like the latest diet trends. I think whatever, works for you, whatever you can follow is best for you. And don't get caught up in like the comparison game. I think that's, really tough for a lot of girls now, with the social media. Everybody's like scrolling through, seeing what everybody else is doing. I think it's just important to just, focus on yourself, do the best you can do. Don't compare yourself to others. Everybody has something beautiful about themselves, and you just kind of need to tap into that.
That's perfect. Well, we were talking off camera right before we started that you've been up since 4 a.m., so we need to let you go. So we really appreciate your time, and talk to you later. Good luck next year.
Thanks so much, Chris.